Okay, I should stop eating pistachios and begin the show, this podcast. So let's do it, shall we? Still looking at all the kinks, all of them, so many kinks.
That's smooth. That was one smooth one.
Oh, every time I see that little bit that we've done so far, it's like, oh, it's magical, and I can't wait to film. Still absolutely reeling from Lily Wachowski donating 2 weeks ago. And let me get you an update on where we are at. And you know where you can always go to get that update? You can go to crowdfund.thewaltzfilm.com. It's right there for me. Love you, computer. Love you so much. We're at $4,046 with so many anonymous donors. But in the past 7 days, some donors who are very visible and who have put their names out there. We have Cassandra. Thank you so much. We have Brandon, Sir Brandon from the Duchess. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have Daniel Guyton and Kate Guyton. I love the Guytons so much. Christina Arjona, love you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Rick Donaldson, thank you. Dale Freeman, Jenna Cannell, Samantha Gelfand, and Carlton Dawson. Those are all the contributions in the past 7 days. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. And again, to see who has contributed so far, because we keep receipts. Oh, what do? We
need the help.
We keep receipts. That was Nikki checking to make sure, like, all right, are those lists accurate? And they are. Remember, if you would like to donate, you can help us get to 30,000 by September 1st or thereabouts by visiting crowdfund.thewaltzfilm.com. We also had an anonymous donor donate $300. I know who it is because I get all the deets, but they wanted to remain anonymous. So I saw that donation come in as I was going into work this morning. I was working at Morehouse today as a standardized patient, and I saw that donation come in, and y'all, I don't know what to do with this kindness. I honestly don't. And it is a crazy thing. It is a crazy thing making a feature film, and we're not even making it right now. We are just in the stages of development, late development, finding financing. We know exactly who we want to make this film with. We had a production meeting yesterday where we went over, it was the executive producer meeting. We went over the budget, the $900,000 budget. So much money. And yet, while it seems like a lot of money, and it's not the only way to make a film, but it is the way to make a sustainable film, to make sure that we are paying people living wages, that we are making sure that things are equitable. And nobody's walking away from this project rich. What we are doing is we are walking away from this fairly compensated for the time that it will take to put in for it, and that's including everyone, the crew and the cast. You have to pay your cast, you have to pay your crew. People deserve compensation for the work that they do. Otherwise, that's called exploitation. Yes, it is. Unless they're agreeing to work pro bono. Then, all that. Anyways, so what to do with all of this generosity that you all are contributing and helping us reach our goal, 4,000 out of 30,000. That is a huge, that's a lot. It's mind-boggling is what it is. And I know I keep stumbling over my words, but I am continually in awe in how community shows up and supports us. But while we're talking about community, let's talk about mental health matters. My mental health is in the shitter. It's because making a feature film, it's and again in late stage development, it's a lot. And not only that, but everything that is going on in life. We've got the writer strike, we've got the actor strike. We have, me personally, I have auditions. There are other life things going on, fertility treatments and all that fun stuff. In addition to making a feature film and the ups and downs that come with doing that. And all right, I think I saw it on, okay. If you have not seen, I'm researching this for you fresh, because I'm so excited about this film coming out. The name of the film is called Mutt. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your name right now because I don't want to demolish it. Lunglov Klotz is the director. I believe it was also written, but it is about a transgender man who goes through an emotional roller coaster over a 24-hour period in New York City. I remember learning about this film. When was it? I want to say it was the first year I hosted stuff for the Seattle Queer Film Festival and the Translations Film Festival out of Seattle. And learning about this film getting made is like, oh my God, this is a major feature film coming out by trans non-binary person for the trans non-binary community about a trans non-binary person, trans man. And so terribly excited. And I know that Seattle Queer Film Festival just did a screening out in Seattle, so hopefully you're able to make it. But all of that to say, if you check out the Instagram for Mutt the Film, it's all heading to a video that they posted. I think it was last night, and I was able to just catch a small clip while at work. But, let's see if I can bring it up. So fancy. Okay, so there we are. Mutt the Film. If you have not checked out their Instagram, please check it out. And I can't remember whose stories it was in.
Mutt, and these are 4 of my favorite movies. First one would have to be Tome of the Farm. I think I've seen it 20 times. Hi, my name is Waltz. I'm the writer and director of Mutt, and these are 4 of my... Hi, my name...
Wow. Okay, hold on. Let's just find it for you. Just yeah. Okay, finally found it. So much work, but
Do you have advice for people trying to make their first film?
There's no one way to do it. It's always going to be a miracle. So you just have to line up a few miracles in a row for it to happen. But I will say a few things. I went through the Sundance Writers Lab. Apply to labs, do that. That was great. I went through the Sundance Writers Lab and I was 23 at the time. I was pretty young. And then I did it again the next year. But I was very almost embarrassed of that. And after a few years, I just got over that embarrassment and wanted to occupy space. I think as a queer person, you forget that you can occupy space and you can be loud. I don't know if this is advice, but I think it's like you have to be in love with your story. Like this is a marriage. I have 6 to 7 years with Mutt. That's my husband, so whatever it is that you're trying to put out there, just make sure that your heart is behind it because you are the single engine pushing it forward.
Do you have it?
Okay, we can stop sharing screen. And being in love with your film, being married to your film, that is what it feels like. And we are approaching year 3 that I put into this marriage with this film. So treating it like a marathon and not just a sprint, and not even a marathon, like it's longer than that. It's and like any marriage, there's the ups and there's the downs. And this is not me commenting on my marriage with the Waltz film. It's a process. But you combine that with crowdfunding and you combine that with everything, and it can be taxing. And that is why so that's also why this episode is pre-recorded, because full disclosure again, and I think you'll know this, but I work as a standardized patient, and this week was challenging. This week was so very challenging. I had 2 cases Monday and Tuesday, and then I had another case today, and today was the miscarriage day. And it's always an incredibly draining day. And that's what I mean when I say mental health matters, but also making an indie feature film there. And here's what I was doing. I was recording this a bit earlier. There's no days off. There are no days off. You can put things off until tomorrow, but you still have to do those things. And there's no days off. And like Luck said, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. I need to go listen to it again. His name. You are the single driving force behind this film, and that gets exhausting. And so you do have to pace yourself. And so much of why mental health matters is listening to my body. I feel like I try and be as transparent as I can be with my own mental health, the ups, the downs, and right now it is a shit show. It's just a shit show because I've been off my hormones for the past 3 months while I undergo fertility things. And it is just a wild roller coaster of emotions, and that old ugly friend dysphoria is back. And in trying to make this movie and so emotionally invested in it, luckily for today's case, all I had to do was think about my film and I start tearing up and getting really emotional. It's something that I want to happen. I believe in the story. And it's not just believing in the story. It's just, have you ever wanted something so bad and it's just like, and it feels impossible to get it? And right now it feels like there are 3 impossible things I'm trying to do before breakfast, so to speak. Pulling from Alice in Wonderland or Lewis Carroll's world. I'm trying to make a feature film. I'm trying to start a family. And feature film, family, and gender confirmation surgery all feel like impossible things right now. And it is literally one foot in front of the other. And it's a lot of walking through faith. And so when I say all of those 3 things, like I want them so badly, it hurts. All I have to do is think about how badly I want them and I start tearing up. And so circling back to the beginning and the fact that people y'all are donating. We're at $4,046 of a $30,000 goal, and we have people who are donating, and yeah, it makes me emotional. Yeah, when we go into a production meeting and it's like we are going to raise the funds for this and going through line by line of like, all right, how can we work this out? Worst case scenario, how can we do this? We need to raise probably 450,000 to actually get this movie made, and that's just paying the cast and crew and doing the essential things. On top of living a life and all the other things that I said I want to accomplish. So yeah, mental health matters, and it's about pacing myself, and it's about a lot of grace and forgiveness, and community. And we are still bringing on people to this project. If you want to volunteer, you can visit volunteer.dwaltzfilm.com. We are currently in the process of onboarding an intern. Yay! Hopefully it all works out. But if you would like to volunteer, believe me, I need help. I need help locally and across the country if we are doing this, because what we hope to do is not just in making this film, but building a network to share and create and tell trans, queer, non-binary stories. And hopefully this is just a start of being able to activate a network and a system that can do that, that can help not just this film, but also the films that follow. And why do I talk about the films that follow? Because I'm also a board member for Out on Film, a very proud board member. I joined the board, or such a tongue twister. Joined the board earlier this year. She sells by the, can't do it. No. I joined the board earlier this year, and I was sold by Craig telling me about his vision of wanting to create a network for queer filmmakers, not just any network, but also making sure that we are developing and putting in the support system that queer artists need. And while we can't change the world, we can start here in our own little pocket of the universe. So this is me trying to make this a lot more dynamic than it actually is. But so Out on Film, Defiantly Queer is our new theme. For the first half of the year, it was queer all year, and now Defiantly Queer. And shout out to Alex Watson for designing this and everything for Out on Film. Absolutely phenomenal, and I love the Defiance. Oh, we have some selections. Oh my God. I'm excited about every single one of these, and I can't wait to see what else they announce. And before I get into what happened, nothing bad happened. It was actually really good. But volunteering for the Waltz, volunteering for Out on Film for our festival, which is coming up. There is a meeting on August 31st if you are in Atlanta at Outfront Theater from 6:30 to 9:30. And you can find out more. Here's what it says. Calling all dedicated film enthusiasts. Join us as a volunteer and be a part of the magic behind the scenes. Attend our volunteer meeting to learn how you can contribute your time and passion to creating an unforgettable film festival experience. Let's make this year's Out on Film the best one yet. And I love bragging on Out on Film because, like I said again, I believe in Craig's vision for Craig and Jim both. Quite possibly some of the best people you could ever hope to meet. Jim, he's a festival director, and then Craig is the chair of the board of directors. They are married. They're a wonderful couple. There's Josh. Every one of these people are so amazing. And so apparently there's me in theory. But then there's also Leo. And so what am I getting with all of this? Community. So, Leo and I, we host the Queer Film Alliance here in Atlanta. It's every second Wednesday of the month, unless there's something going on. We have to move to the third, like we did this past month. But second Wednesday of every month, we meet up at San Francisco Coffee Shop in Virginia Highlands. And we meet up, and we didn't know what we were doing when we started it. And we had our first meeting back in March. It was kind of a test pilot, like how is it going to go? How is it going to be? What kind of vibe is it going to be? And we were like, well, we should model it after some other programming that we've seen done. Like we should bring in guests and things like that. But also, keep bringing it back to this right here. Mental health matters. Mental health matters so much. And And so the past 2 months, like Leo and I are also working jobs and we are also filmmakers. He made Queer Moxie, which is a documentary film, and in addition to working on his next documentary and in addition to other projects that he's got going on. And the same for me. This is put on by the Waltz. We are trying to make a feature film. So it's a struggle to find time to do extra things. And yet we try and find time to do it. And number one, the Queer Film Alliance is an incredibly important project of ours because it's one of the missions. It's one of the reasons I came on board. Craig convinced me was like, how do we support artists? And not just financially, which we did through the Queer Filmmakers Fund, we raised $10,000, but also how do we support them as artists? How do we support them as people? And what I know works is making sure that there's community. And look at me going on my little spiel, but here it is. Right now, we are facing unprecedented times in queer history, and we've seen versions of this before in the 60s, in the 90s, in the 2000s. It's a recurring theme, really. But it is unprecedented the wave of legislation that is being passed that specifically targets queer, transgender, and non-binary persons, especially our youth. Now more than ever, we need community. Community is our number one asset, especially when it comes to resilience. And so for me, in coming on board out on film and in them empowering us to start this Queer Film Alliance, Queer Film Meetup, where we can build connections in craft community, and Leo and I going into this not knowing what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do? But here's what I'm going to tell you. Last month and this month, our schedules are busy. We're not able to find guests. So like, okay, we're just going to have a meetup and we're just going to see what happens. The past 2 meetings have been quite possibly it's beautiful. It is what structure has developed is we come, we introduce ourselves, what we're working on. And after an introduction of like all of that, like where we're from, like not just physically, but also creatively, where we're from, what we're about, it's like, here's what I'm working on. And then it's like, let's circle back to that. And then, because once you say out loud, here's what I'm working on, give it a little bit of time to marinate, go around the group, listen to everyone else, and then circle back around. It's like, so what do you need from the group? And every time it has been beautiful. Especially since Leo and I are winging it and we're both type A personalities trapped in type B bodies. But so last month it was allowing the filmmakers and creatives themselves to say like, hey, I'm working on this. We had a first time filmmakers currently in school. And it's like, how do I direct for the first time? What should I be looking out for? And hearing, again, Leo and I are just facilitators and hoping to spark the conversation, but hearing the community pour forward, like, well, here's the mistakes that I made. So try doing this. And if you need any help in this aspect, like reach out to this. And other filmmakers giving advice to this first time trans filmmaker. I want to say it's no hormones, but I was crying. Hearing that support and then making sure that everyone is seen and heard. To me, that's what the meetings are about. Because it's fostering that connection. It's like, oh, I'm not alone in this. There are people willing to hear me, and there are also willing people to support me because also making space not just for the joy, but also for the grief or sadness or frustration or anger that comes with being an artist, that comes especially with being a queer filmmaker. So it was about helping a young filmmaker, but it was also about like, I'm going through this and, I just need to have people bear witness to this is what I'm going on. I need to be heard right now. And the same thing happened this past Wednesday. Again, going around the group, and this time it was about new people joining the community and how to find community and being able to say like, okay, well, here are some people also new introductions are made. And it's like, and also these are also some queer places and organizations in town so that we are supporting each other. And also we had queer elders coming, and it feels weird saying that, but queer filmmaker elders who have been in the business a long time and who have settled here. And it was also heart touching because they shared how long they've been with a partner, but sharing too, like, here is what I have learned along my journey and sharing it for everyone else. It was intergenerational. It was intergendered. It was there was so much representation there, and it was intimate. And we got to share, like, here's what I'm working on. Here's where I need help. Someone needed help with locations. And so it's like, all right, well, let's make sure that you're getting in touch with things that you need to get in touch with, resources. So that is my spiel all about the Queer Film Alliance and Out on Film. And I strongly believe in the work that they are doing. And they have been a huge supporter of not only myself, but the Duchess of Grant Park and numerous other filmmakers in Atlanta. And I cannot sing their praises enough. And I'm so excited for the festival next month. And the experience was nourishing. And it also, Leo and I commiserated beforehand. And we're going to close this out by talking a bit about what precipitated all this. Barbie. If you've seen the Barbie film and you are suffering currently from depression, you are not alone. Leo and I were talking, and I talked to somebody else where I was like, yeah, after I watched Barbie, I'm still going through an existential crisis. So you are not alone if Barbie sparked something and we're just like, oh, okay, what's going on? What am I made for? Also, that soundtrack, I wasn't a big Billie Eilish fan before, but now it's just like, yes. And of course, Nicki and Ice Spice song. This is me rambling for so long. So,
yes, that's what we're gonna do. Listen here, you listening? What we need you to do is visit crowdfund.thewaltzfilm.com to help support our crowdfunding goal. Every like, tweet, share, carrier pigeon, smoke signal, go to a mountain and shout it from the rooftops. Well, that helps us spread the word about this film and our mission.
if you're not following the Waltz's Instagram and TikTok, shout out to our social media manager, Grace, who has been doing phenomenal. Absolutely MVP. Just MVP. And if you're not following on social media, please follow along. Today, I think this week, we're telling you all about Spencer, who is a lovely gem of a human being. But not only that, I am so excited to introduce you all to Nikki, to Scott, to Brian, to Jessica, to Carlette, and if we are able to get any big celebrities attached, I'm excited to introduce you to them too. I am also really excited to, at some point, film my next plea to y'all. I've written the script for a little pitch video. Not pitch video, a little plea video, a little I will remember you type thing. So can't wait to film that, hopefully this weekend. But we will leave with a little video of, if you do donate, here's a little video that we send you.
Joy. Joy.
Joy. Joy. All right.
Okay, we send you that one because joy.
Together, let's make the Waltz a reality. A film that not only entertains, but leaves a lasting impact on hearts and minds. In the arms of an angel, far away. I don't know the song, but it goes like this.
They are words.
They are words. So many words. And it's sad.
That's
the beatbox.
Good. That is the music. As you can see, we had way too much fun filming that pitch video, but when you donate, you do get sent a link of that along with whatever else we can think of. And we even talked about, like, you want a handwritten letter for a tax deductible donation? We will send you a handwritten letter. You want a video chat? Let's do it. We are here to do what we can to help us raise the money. So continuing to like, tweet, spread the word. Watch out for Twitter because apparently you can't block anyone anymore. Absolutely insane. Elmo has gone crazy. But Next week, don't forget, the video will also be pre-recorded because I will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So, all my Fayetteville peeps, all my Fayetteville queer peeps, hit me up. Let's grab drinks or something. I don't know. Let's talk about the Waltz in person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fayetteville, coming for you. I will see you next week. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Stay hydrated. They said impose best. Hydrate.
Named Jake, and an unwanted pregnancy that your father paid to terminate so you could go to college and major in being a basic bitch. None of these things make you a woman.
Clear your throat. Lubricate. Read that bitch.
Your uniform of ill.
My favorite part of love it so much. All right, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Fayetteville, see you next week. And bye.